Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to discuss Git command. So let's understand how we can use Git and what the Git command. If you want to work with Git, yes, no. So which command you need to know. Okay, so in the last session, we have created our working directory. So this is our Git practice is a working directory. So from this is a working directory. So what is a working directory? Working directory, we can say it is a place, yes, no, the developer using that directory in where developer placing our code, in which directory worker developer is working is called as the working directory. Okay, now developer open git bash in our from our working directory, git bash here. So we are using command line, yes, no, git bash. This is just like command line tool, and we can use. Okay, so once you open this, you can check here. Now, if you want to work with Git, yes, no. So you require to know the Git command here, right? So let's now understand Git command. So first of all, you can use the Git help command. Actually, Git help, if you don't know any Git command, suppose I want to know the status, yes, no. So what is the status of your directory? So you can type Git status. If you want to check your status of your directory, so you can type git status. But as of now, it's showing error fatal, not a git repository. It is not a git repository. Okay, what is a git repository? So we try to understand. But first of all, we try to understand git help command also. Okay, so git help command basically helps to provide your git command. So which command? Git command you required help, suppose status. So you can type git help status. So once you press enter, you can check here what it will open. It will open one documentation and you can check your command. What is the use of your command and how you can use your command. So first command I'm going to discuss here, which command? Git help. So git help command, what does? You can check here what is the use of git help command. So git help command, we can say it provides, yes, no, it provides frequently used several git commands. So git help commands is a very frequently used command. So git help command basically helps to any command. If you want to take help of any command, yes, no. So you can take the help of the, yes, no, using git help. And now how you can use guys this command? So you can, okay, let's here we mention it provides frequently used several git commands. Okay, how you can use? You can type git help and then command name, which command help you required. Yes, no? So you can type command name. So once you type this command, so this command basically opens, yes, no, one documentation. It opens one documentation of that particular command. So it open, yes, no, one documentation of that particular command, which command help you have required. Okay, one more thing. Here you can check here. Now go to your working directory and we have opened our git bash from your working directory. In this working directory, if you want to check the status of your working directory, when you type git status, it's showing it is not a git repository. Okay, what meaning of this line? Actually, guys, once you have created directory in your local machine, this is called as your working directory because you are working in this directory. This is not a Git repository. This is your simple directory, just like a folder you created in your machine. Yes, no? This is called as a simple working directory. So let's now we understand different area, yes, no, that are available in Git local. So Git will provide different areas. In your local copy on Git files, yes, no, can be guys, suppose in your working directory, staging area, we have Git repository. So working directory, yes, means in which you are working. Suppose if you want to create repository, yes, no, in your local machine, you can create repository in your local machine, Git repository. So there are two type repository we can say in Git, yes, no. One is a local repository, another one is a central repository. So Git repository is nothing. Git repository is a virtual storage of your project, we can say. So it allow you to save version of your code which you can access when needed. So what is a Git repository? Let's first we understand what is a Git repository. Okay, here we can understand one more thing. What is a Git repository or repository? Git repository. What is a Git repository? So Git repository, we can say a Git repository is nothing is a virtual, we can say virtual storage of your project. It is just like a virtual storage of a project, and it allows guys, it allows you to save versions of your code, and which you can access when needed, so that you can access when you need it. So how many types of repository we can say Git provide? There are two types repository. One is a local repository, one is a central repository. Local repository means you can initialize your repository, yes, no, your directory as a Git repository in your local machine also. And central repositories means you can create one repository in centrally. Just like you have seen, yes, no, in the last session we have created also this DevOps training central repository in central. But now actually you are developer working in a local machine. So first of all, we need to create one repository in your local machine. And later on, we can make, yes, no, whatever you have, make changes in your local repository. We can move the code from your local repository to the central repository. Okay, so how we can make our this working directory, how we can initialize this our working directory with local repository. Okay, here from this working directory, I have open Git bash. And when we're checking the status of your repository showing it is not a Git repository. Okay, how we can initialize our, yes, no, local directory as a Git repository. So there is a command, git init command, guys. You can type git init command. So this command basically, what's the use of this command, guys? This command basically used to initialize your repository. Yes, no, this command basically used to create a repository or reinitialize existing repository. So if you want to create one empty repository, so I want to create one empty Git repository, so you can type git init command. Once you press enter, you can check here. Now it's showing now in sliding empty Git repository under which directory, under that directory. So here you can check under Git practice folder. Yes, no. Under that, it will create one hidden folder .git. So now it will create one empty repository, empty Git repository. So you can use, yes, no, git init command. So what is the use of git init command, guys? Let's understand. So git init command, it is used, guys, it is used to create empty repository or reinitialize existing repository. Reinitialize, yes, no, existing a repository. If you want to reinitialize existing repository or you want to create new empty repository, you can use git init command. So now we have initialized our repository. Go back. Now if you check your status, git status. If you type status, git status. So once you press enter, you can check here what is showing. Now it's not showing error fatal. It is not a git repository, but it's showing something different. Yes, no? Nothing to commit, no commit yet. But now it's showing now your repository is a git repository. So here we have initialized our repository as a git repository. So now we understand one more command, git status. So using this command, what we can do? Using this command, yes, no, this command, we can say this command will display status of current repository. If you want to check the status of current repository, you can use git status command. Okay, guys. So once you create one empty repository. So suppose this is your developer working directory, git practice. Under that directory, suppose developer has create one file new. Let's we create one file, test file. I give the file name like test1. Suppose I give the file name test1. So this is a test1 file. Now suppose developer had created this file in our working directory, and now developer suppose writing some piece of code. Yes, no? So this is a line 1. Suppose this is a line 1. This is a line 1. This is a line 2. Suppose developer have written some piece of code, some tasks they have done, and now we have closed the file. So now file is available where, guys? Now file is available in your working directory. So as of now, file is available in your working directory. So you can check here. We have discussed Git locals area. In there are Git, there are different area. So when you create any file, guys, yes, no. So in your working directory, so that file is called as a stage file. Okay, so you have working directory and you have a Git local repository. Now you have two areas, working directory and you have your Git repository. So as of now, you have created one file where we have created one file in your working directory. I have created one file, suppose T1 file, yeah, test1 file we have created. So test1 file you have created where, guys? In your working directory. So now this file we want to, yes, no, move from working directory to our local repository. So you can't move directly your file, yes, no, yeah, your code from your working directory to Git repository. So whenever you want to move, yes, no, any files, yes, no, any source code, yes, no, from your working directory to Git repository. So between working directory and Git repository, we have one area that is called as a staging area, just like a buffer memory. Yes, no? So between working directory and Git repository, we have one staging area. So whenever you want to move any file from working directory to Git repository, first you need to add that file into staging area. Once you add that files into staging area, from staging area, you can add that file into Git repository. So now you are making changes where, guys? In your local repository. And later on, if you want to move your code from your local repository to central repository, you can move. But first of all, you need to move your code from your working directory to your Git local repository. So we have initialized one local repository in your machine because developer first of all working in your local machine. So first of all, whatever changes you want to make, yes, no, you can make those changes in your local machine. So there might be chance multiple times, yes, no, you are doing changes. So you can track those changes also in your local machine, and that finally you can post the code in your central repository when everything is correct. Okay, so whatever you have created files in your working directory, we can't move file from working directory to Git repository directly. So between working directory and Git repository, we have one area that is called staging area. It means first of all, you need to move your file here. You need to add the file into staging area. Then you can add file from staging area to Git repository. So there are three areas we can say when you are doing operation in locally: working directory, staging area, and Git repository. So whenever you create a file, yes, no, in your working directory, that file we can call as a stage file. It means that file is ready, yes, no. Now that file is ready to, yes, no, move, guys, where? Okay, you need to move that file in which area? Sorry, you need to move that file into staging area. So whenever you want to move any file, yes, no, in your Git repository, so first of all, from working directory, you need to add file into staging area. From staging area, we can add that file into Git repository. Now questions comes here, guys, how we can add any file from working directory to staging area and then staging area to Git repository. So let's understand one by one every concept. Okay, one more important thing, guys, you need to understand. Let's now we understand with example, then you can get clear picture. Okay, you can check it, guys. Here we have created new file. Yes, no? We have just created one new file in your working directory. We have not added this file as of now into staging area. Okay, once you create any new file into your working directory, yes, no? So if you check the status of your repository Git status, you can check here. What is showing, guys? It's showing untracked file. Untracked file. Untracked file means, okay, this file is there, yes, no, untracked file. Nothing added to commit but untracked file. So we have three types of, we can say, files. We can mark our file three ways: untracked file, unstaged file, stage file. Okay, let's understand, yes, no, our first of all, yes, no, what is a stage file? Which file we can call as a stage file? And which file we can call as an untracked file? So stage file, guys, suppose once you create a file, yes, no, and check this diagram also. Once you create a file and you added that file into staging area, suppose. Once you add that file into staging area, so now we can say the files which are added and they are ready to commit. It means you can, guys, you can move your file from staging area to Git repository. It means you need to make a commit. Okay, suppose you have any file in your working directory. If you want to add that file into staging area, so you can use one command, git add command. Using git add command, yes, no, we can add file into staging area. Once you add that file into staging area, from staging area, if you want to add file into your repository, so you need to type command git commit. Once you commit, yes, no, it means now you have make changes in your local repository. Now, whatever changes you have made, now you have made those changes in your local repository. So once you added any file into staging area, that files are ready to commit. It means now that file you can commit. So which file is called as staging file? The files which are added in staging area and they are ready to commit. That files we can call as a stage file. So remember this point, which files we can call as a stage file, the file which are added, yes, no, and they are ready to commit. They are ready to commit. Each card as a stage file. Now we have another file like untracked file. Let's understand untracked file. Untracked file. What is the untracked files? Let's now understand one by one, step by step. Untracked file, guys, suppose we have created here new file, yes, no, just we have created, we have not added this file into staging area yet. So just we have created new file in our working directory. So the newly created file, we can say newly created file, newly created files, newly created files, yes, no, each card as untracked file. So newly created file we need to stage, yes, no, If you want to commit that file, yes, no, it means you need to stage first them, because newly created file available in your working directory. If you want to commit, so first you need to stage, then you can commit. So it means newly created file is known as untracked file. So we need to stage them. We need to stage them to commit. Yes, no. Once you stage them, then you can commit. And here you can check here very important points. Important point here you can check. Once you type git status command, you can check showing yes, no. This file is an untracked file. So you can easily understand it means this is a newly created file. So we need to stage them to commit. So what we need to? We need to stage them. And newly created file, yes, no, you can check here name of the file is showing in red color. So this file's name, yes, no, untracked file, yes, no, these files, we can say these files names, yes, no, sorry, this file name also will, yes, no, will be displayed in red color. In which color? Red color. You are able, yes, no, to see the name of this file in red color. Okay, if you once you add the file into staging area, let's understand how we can add. I will show. So suppose I'm typing, I want to add this file into staging area. So you can type command git add. So git add command is used to add the file into staging area. So as of now, file is available in your working directory. From your working directory, you want to add the file into staging area, git add, and then file name. Which file you want to add? Test1.txt. Once you press enter, now you can check now file added into staging area. It means now file is ready to commit. If you check the status, git status command, you can check here. Now you can read here. Now changes to committed. And now file color is showing guys in which file name is showing in which color guys? File name is showing in green color. It means now this file in which area? Stage area. So now this file we can call as a stage file. So test1.txt is a stage file. So stage file means guys, once you added that file into staging area, that is called stage file. Yes, no? So now this file, yes, no, we can say this file names will be displayed in which color? In green color. Green color. So we have untracked file, stage file. Untracked file, newly created file is called as untracked file, and those file needs to stage them commit. And stage file means now the files added into staging area and they are ready to commit. Now you can commit this file. Okay, so that file is called as a which file? Stage file. So stage file are ready to commit. Now guys, suppose, okay, let's now we go back to our file. Now we have not committed it, but if you open that file, yes, no, and now after staging, now we have make some changes. This is a line 3. So guys, where we have make changes? We have make changes in your working directory. Very important point. Suppose you have make some changes in the file in your working directory. Okay, if you check your guys status of your file, git status, first check the status, yes, no, git status. Now what is showing guys? Now it's showing, you can check it, this file is modified. This file is modified. It means you have staged this file. After staging, you have make some changes in this file. It means again you need to stage them, because you have make changes. Yes, no, you have make changes in your working directory. Now you need to add those changes into staging area. It means you need to add again this file into staging area. So as of now, this file in is called as an unstaged file. So unstaged file means modified files will be displayed here. So unstaged file are those file, yes, no. This means the stage file that you have modified, that file is called as a unstaged. Now this file is called as an unstaged file. So let's understand what is the unstaged file. Unstaged file we can say modified, yes, no, modified files will be, yes, no, will be displayed here. Modifier will be displayed here. So we need to, yes, no, stage, we need to stage these files if you want to commit. So we need to stage these files to commit again, yes, So you need to stage them. And this file name also you can check it. These files, yes, no, these file names will be displayed in which color, guys? In red color. So there are three category of file basically, yes, no, stage file, unstaged file, untracked file. So we need to understand, yes, no, what is the staging, what is the unstaged, and what is the untracked file. Untracked file is called as a newly created file. It's called as untracked file. So newly created file, we need to stage them to commit. And once you add the file into staging area, so that file is called as a stage file. If you stage the file, if you make changes, yes, no, in staging file, then that file is called as unstaged. So it means you need to again stage them to commit it. So you can check here. Let's now we need to again stage. How you can add staging area? Get add and which file? Test1.txt. So we need to type, and once you press enter, now you can check here. You have staged the file, and you can check status. Git status. If you press enter, now you can check and now file is ready to commit. So now this file is ready to commit. So you have make changes, yes, no? In which file? Test1.txt. So that file becomes an unstaged file. So again, you need to stage them to commit. If you want to commit, so you need to stage them. Okay, so here we can understand, yes, no, command also. Git add command first. So what is the use of git add command, guys? So git add command, yes, no. So what is the use of git add command? Let's understand. This command, yes, no. You can use this command. This command is used to add file in file to staging area. If you want to add file into staging area, then you can use git add command. So whenever you want to commit the file, yes, no, if you want to make those changes in your local repository, you want to commit. So first of all, you need to add the file into staging area from your working directory. We can't directly commit our file from working directory to Git repository. So between working directory and Git repository, we have one area. That area is called as a staging area. So first we need to stage them and then we can commit. So how you can add file into staging area? You can add file using you can add the file into staging area using git add command. Here you can use syntax git add and then you can specify the file name that you want to add to staging area. Okay, guys, suppose as of now here you have seen how many files you have added? One. So there might be chance you have multiple file. Okay, go to your Git practice. Let's now we have create one more file, new, and now I give the file name like test2 file, and now